Yo, I haven't fully made friends with this tripod yet, so we're gonna see how we go. See if any of you jump on live. I've just got a real quick one for you today. Anyone who's read my book will know that my journey with people pleasing has been extensive. Yes, it has. And the more I drop into trusting my sacral, living my human design, not to the point where I'm, the word vitriolic keeps coming up, not to the point where I use it and I become rigid about it, because in my mind, as I've said many, many times, if something becomes more of a limitation or a box to fit into than something that's liberating or expansive for me, then I just kind of go, maybe this isn't for me anymore. But the more that I've learned about specifically living from my sacral, which is why I've dropped the link for the sacral sessions in here, the more I understand about being a manifesting generator and a generator type, the more I've been able to realize where I have literally cut off my ability to even admit what my desires are to myself, whether they are my desires in business, my sexual desire, my desire for, I don't know, money or certain things, or for my body to look a certain way, even in, friendships and business relationships, things with mentors, for example. Maybe where I haven't asked for what I really needed because I didn't even really know what I needed. So a big part of the work that I am going to be doing with people in the sacral sessions is this. It's about really reconnecting with what you want. The amount of people that come to me when I say, okay, so, but what do you really want? And they just go, I don't know. It's an epidemic is what it is, of people not knowing what the fuck they want, particularly women, because it tends to be women who come and work with me. But the idea that we don't know what we want is actually a lie, that our ego and our mind tells us to protect us, because there is a perception that it is unsafe for us to either follow what our sacral truly desires, or, particularly if it's something sexual, it's like, oh, I can't do that. So much shame attached to our sexuality. This idea that we don't know what we want is bullshit. And I know this from personal experience because I say it all the time. I don't know. I don't know what I want. And I'm getting so much better at not using that phrase, because even when I hear myself saying it, I'm like, okay, that's a lie. I do know what I want. And anyone in here who's worked with me will know that when they say to me, I don't know what I want, I will say to them, okay, well, if you did know, what would that be? Because I'm a cocky asshole, because I use neurolinguistic programming and that's how I roll. I want to get into your subconscious. I want to help you, shifting. I want to help you understand what's going on behind the things that you continually tell yourself. And one of those things is, I don't know. I don't know what I want. Another part of the reason why we lie to ourselves about not knowing what we want is that we are afraid that we will lose something or hurt somebody in the process of truly claiming what that is. And here's a big one for manifesting generators in particular. What if I change my mind? And also anyone who is defined sacrally but maybe has an emotional authority to define solar plexus, you might find that as well. You might find that although your sacral is at play and works for you, it kind of gets channeled through the solar plexus, right? So you need to take a bit of time to make decisions. And when you're pressured to make decisions, that can be very disorientating and very like, just shut down. So for me, what I've learned to do is firstly, to not put pressure on myself to give anyone else an answer until I'm ready to answer that fucking question. And getting okay with saying, I don't know, but like checking myself. And when I say it, going, oh, hang on, I do know, but maybe I'm just not open to actually fully understanding the fullness and the hugeness of this desire. Is this resonating with you? Tell me all of the things, because I know I can see there's people watching, but I'm not sure who, because I haven't seen any names pop up. Oh yes, there's one, Lauren. Hello, Lauren. Nice to have you. So it's very interesting to me, this idea of reconnecting with desire. It's definitely something that I'm going through myself and deepening my practice around, which is why I'm so fascinated about helping other people with this right now. I even did a program a few years ago called, it was 4 weeks, so I just called it 4 Weeks of Desire. And it was such a beautiful program because I held people accountable to all the things that they say they wanted. And it was slightly different because these people kind of did already know what they wanted, but they were just afraid to go after it. What I'm really feeling about the Sacral sessions is everyone who is going to join and who has joined, they know what they want. They do know, but they're so busy giving away their time and energy and focus to help other people that they forget that their desires are actually the most important thing in their life. If you continue to help someone else sort out their harvest, then you're going to look back at your field one day and go, what the fuck, there's nothing here. I got no food to eat because I was helping all these motherfuckers over here sort out their shit. And we tend to do that because, you know, sometimes people do that because they don't want to look at their own shit, right? Other people, I don't really feel that that's been the case for me maybe when I was a lot younger, like when I was a teenager, early 20s, and I was, you know, dating very unsuitable humans, etc. Back then, it probably was to avoid dealing with my own shit. But now I am so on top of and love working with what's going on for me and processing my shit and moving through it and becoming a new human, you know, every other day, which must be exhausting. It is. But it's also very rewarding. I wouldn't have it any other way. There is a definite belief system around owning our desires that tells us, particularly women who've been brought up to be like caretakers or to look after people, or not even like, you know, there's nothing wrong with anyone in my family, no one was sick or anything, I didn't have to caretake in that way. But when we're young and we learn very quickly that we are, you know, our survival is very much based on how we engage with certain members of the family. Our survival requires people to love and take care of us. And if we don't feel that we're fulfilling a certain role in that relationship, sometimes we can feel afraid that we're not actually going to be loved, that we're not going to be safe, that we're not going to be secure. So a big part of what we're going to be doing in the Sacral sessions is really about understanding that you're a fucking grown-up now. You're a grown-ass human, and it's time for you to really check in with what you want from life and go even bigger. One of the things I notice about people who come to work with me, again, because this is something that I've seen reflected in myself also, is we're okay with asking for small things. But if we have any inkling that it might impact the life of another person, and this can even show up in business, if we suddenly start thinking that, oh, if we put our prices up, or if we change what we're doing and we pivot the way that we're working or whatever, that's going to somehow affect somebody else or upset someone or hurt somebody, or, you know, we are so willing to fucking bend our own boundaries at times to allow other people to feel better or resource from us. And actually, boundaries are so fucking important. And again, this is going to be a huge thing that we're going to be talking about. When you are a sacral being, you have a lot of energy. You're naturally very vital, like you have a lot of vitality. And if you don't have access to that, if you tend to feel very drained or tired, or you find like, even when you do give yourself permission to rest, it's like you actually can't get enough rest because your brain is constantly going, or there's always something that you feel, almost like you feel like there's always energy being kind of like drained from you or leaked somehow. We're going to be looking at that. We're going to look at clearing that shit up. I'm going to give you practices to deal with that. We're going to do clearing, meditation, journaling, all of the fucking things. This is not just me going live and ranting at you for 4 weeks. This is going live, doing epic, huge, expansive clearing sessions, and me giving you the integration work to make sure that you are living this out in your life. You have access to me in Telegram in a group chat where you also have access to all the other people who've signed up. I'm keeping this small. I don't want like fucking hundreds of people in there because that would be a lot for me and my sacral, and that is not what this program is about. This is about a community of delicious individuals who are all really fucking committed to doing the hard work of accessing ease. And I know that might sound like a contradiction, but as generator types, as sacral beings, we can often feel like we should be doing more because we've got the energy, and we probably could do more. We can do more than you know, maybe some of the other human design types, for example. But so often we channel that energy into assisting someone else in bringing their dreams to life, or making sure everyone else is okay, and we forgo our own vision, our own dreams, and our own desires. And I'm just not here for it anymore. I'm just not about that life. And I realized today I'm working with a new coach at the moment around some nothing related to business really, but everything is related, isn't it? So even though it's not directly a business coach, the work we're doing is obviously going to have massive impact on the way that I show up for my business as well. And one of the things I realized today was that so often when we are for myself, for example, I love the people who are in my community. I love the people that I've worked with in the past, and the people who even like have never paid me for anything and just rock up to free shit and engage with me. And, you know, I have so much compassion and desire to really help people kind of catalyze and catapult themselves to where they want to be in life. I can see their highest potential, and I want them to see it, and I hold point for that for them, particularly when they work with me at the highest level. I hold point for that for them, and I will reflect it back to them, and I believe in them. You know, this is important to me. This is what I love. I love to be able to do that for people. But I've been doing it to a certain extent. I've been doing it for people who, like, you know, ripple is sent so far out that there have been times where I've definitely felt my energy like so far away from the core of my body that it's almost like we need to remember, particularly as like coaches, healers, anyone who's in the service-based industry like this, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing that people love being in our energy. That is a beautiful fucking thing, particularly for generator types, because we're very open and enveloping. That's our aura. Like, we give that out to the world. It's like our gift to the world, right? We naturally radiate out, and that is a fucking beautiful thing, and I do not ever want that to change. But we also need to remember that we are running a business. If you're running a business, it is a fucking business, and that you are one motherfucking human. You only have access to so much physical resource. Yes, you're divine. Yes, you're limitless. Yes, you have unlimited potential. Of course. Yes, we can find ways to upgrade your energy system and your nervous system so that you can hold more, so that you can radiate more, vibrate out more. Of course. But if you're not taking care of your physical vessel, if you're not taking care of your heart and of yourself first, you're going to combust. And all that happens is that the people that you were attempting to hold up, who were like, you know, holding these people up who've paid you whatever to be in your space, who are working with you one-to-one, your highest level clients, etc., that's a very different energy exchange to overreaching and stretching and sending your energy so far out to try and call those people back in. What about you? What about you, and what about your physical resources? And I've certainly experienced burnout multiple times since running my business. And a lot of that is because of people-pleasing tendencies. We want the people, I want the people who work with me at the highest level to feel fucking spectacular. And I also want the people who buy my ebook or show up for a free offering or like a fucking post on Instagram to feel spectacular. However, there comes a point where we have to draw a line and draw a boundary around how much we are expending our energy, our time, and our focus on the people who are externally kind of floating around on the peripheral, on the peripheral vision, versus the people who are going, fuck me, I need to be in your energy. I need to be, how much? How much money do you want so that I can be in your energy? I want to be working with you at the highest level. I want to message you every fucking day. I want your support. You're fucking amazing. Here, take my money. I want to be close to you because you are powerful and you can help me. And I get a fucking buzz when I'm in your energy, and I know I need that in order to propel myself forward. And I'm willing to invest in you. Tell me how much. Here's my fucking money, right? That is a very different energy from every single level of the offerings that you put out into the world. Doesn't mean you care less about anybody. All it means is that if you are one individual, and bear in mind that this goes for your relationships as well. I'm using business as an analogy because it's a very easy one for me because I run a fucking business and it's my life, it's my baby. But this goes for the humans in your life as well. You know, if you're spending more time trying to fucking make sure that, you know, Margaret down the road or whatever, you know, oh, I think I upset her because she looked at me a funny way and I said so. I think she took it the wrong way. You spend so much time fucking ruminating and worrying about someone that you see like once every 3 weeks, every month or whatever, when, you know, you walk past a house and she happens to be in the garden. You know, if you're worrying as much about Margaret down the road as you are about like the people who you fucking live with, or maybe even more, maybe you ruminate more about Margaret down the road than you do about the people in your inner circle. If you care more about what strangers think of you than about what the people in your intimate inner circle, how they feel about you, and I'm not saying that you have to people please the people that are close to you either. I'm saying, if you're anything like me, you've definitely suffered from the paranoia of, but there's so many people out there and I need to control how they think about me because I'm a nice person. Honest, I am, I promise. And if you've ever experienced any of that, then you will know that this work of coming back to self, coming back to your sacral and honoring your desires, the bigger your business gets, the bigger your life gets and your relationship circles get, the more you need to be taking care of yourself first. Because you can't build a fucking $1 million brand, multi-million-dollar brand if you're one human being who is trying to service every fucking human on the planet. The fact of the matter is, the people in this industry who are making the most money, who are the most, you know, successful, whatever that might look like to you, are the people who understand that there are boundaries because they are running a business. And it doesn't mean that anyone cares about anyone less. It just means that they understand that their energy is currency and it is the most valuable thing that they have. Your energy is the most valuable resource that you have. Please fucking hear me when I say that. Your energy is the most valuable resource you have. Not your time, because time is not linear anyway. Your energy. It's the only thing that you can maintain. And I want to say control, but I don't really mean control. I just mean it's the one thing that is going to change your fucking life, is when you come back to understanding that when you are spending your energy in areas that are not particularly beneficial for you, you might see that showing up in your finances as well. You might see that showing up in your business. You might see it showing up in your personal relationships. And if you're like me and you're someone who likes to kind of move their body a lot and train and, you know, like evolve my body constantly and just like work with it all the time, then you will also see that in your body. You will see it in your eating habits. The more you deplete yourself in order to support more and more and more and more people at the same level as the people who are the most important or the people who've invested the most in your business, the less time you're going to have, the less energy you're going to have, the more depleted you're going to have, the more difficult it's going to get to call that money in, the more difficult it's going to get to maintain beautiful relationships with people. So the sacral sessions, and my work in general, but the sacral sessions is what I'm talking about right now. It's not just about like, let's learn human design, because I'm not a human design expert. I'm not a human design teacher. I'm a manifesting generator who's done a fuck ton of work deconditioning their shit and continues to. So yes, that's going to be a part of it, is looking at your human design, but the bigger part of it is going to be about coming back to yourself, coming back to your sovereignty and what is authentically you. Who are you? underneath the need to people please, underneath the need to make sure everyone else in your life is okay. And it doesn't mean we stop caring about people, okay? You don't become an asshole just because you stop putting everyone else before you. I cannot stress that enough. If anything, you become a more beautiful person. It's possible. You will have more energy. You will look better. You will feel better. You'll probably look fucking younger, you know? It's like, people tell me I look younger all the time, and I'm like, that's because I'm taking care of my fucking energy these days, baby. Like, nothing gets leaked, and if it does, mama puts gets the soldering iron out, and I'm like, fucking seal up that motherfucking leak. I know when I'm being leaky because I feel it, because I have felt what it feels like to be living from a place of having a fully juiced up, delicious life in Sacral. And I want that for you. And if you want that for you, get your ass in the fucking Sacral sessions. I've decided to move the start date to the 7th of July because my Sacral told me to. And why? Because I'm feeling a little bit tired this week. And my body was like, no, the people who sign up for this program deserve me at my best. They deserve that. This week I've got a lot of one-to-one client sessions, and I'm like, do I feel that I can hold a container for a group program as potently as I would like to if we begin on the 1st of July? And my Sacral was like, no. So I said, okay, how about a week's time? How about the 7th? Yeah, that feels good. And you know it feels good because I'm burping. And these are the things I'm going to be teaching you. It doesn't have to be a big deal. It doesn't have to be a big fucking deal when you change stuff, because your Sacral always understands. Your body knows the divine timing. You got me? That's my rant over for today. I would love to know in the comments how you resonate with this, what came up for you. And also, if you've got any questions about the Sacral sessions, please feel free to either drop the comment under here, and make sure you tag me, because otherwise I might not see it. I get a lot of notifications. Tag me underneath this video and ask me questions about the Sacral sessions if you're interested, or about any of the work that I do. If you're not Sacral, if you're a projector, a reflector, or a manifestor, and you'd like to work with me, that's absolutely fine. I work with all of the people. But yeah, message me or drop me a little comment under here and tag me, and we can have a chat either about the Sacral sessions or about any of the other work that I'm doing in the world. Manifesting generator, so I have many things going on at all times, because why? It gives me energy. I want to feel alive. This is what I want. I want for every being on earth to feel like met by life. I want you to feel that when you are operating, whether it's you're waiting to respond or waiting for the invitation or whatever, right? Like waiting for your rhythm to come back, waiting for your creative flow to like reignite. I want you to know you are always held, supported, and being met by life. You are never alone. You are always supported. And I hope to see you in the Sacral sessions, because it's going to be fucking amazing and beautiful. I love you. Bye.